Alright, welcome to another episode of Getting Salty with Cilsick. Today our topic is lichens. I'm up here in South Georgia, right on the outskirt of the Okefenokee Swamp, and I'm out in the woods and I found a whole bunch of lichens. So let me first show you what I'm looking at. All right, here we are. Right here before me, this is a great example of a lichen. This isn't a plant, it's not an animal, it's not simply a fungus or any single organism. What this actually is a symbiotic relationship between two different organisms. One of them is an algae, which is a producer, and the other is a fungus, and they're living together in a mutualistic sense. Mutualism is a form of symbiosis where both members benefit. In this case, the algae photosynthesizes, produces excess glucose, and shares it with the fungus. The fungus supplies an appropriate home and other important nutrients, water, holds the water, and other requirements that the algae needs. So the two of them together can work in harmony. Lichens are also really interesting because many areas that they have found, other species can be found actually growing right on rocks. And they're considered a pioneer species in succession. And they will slowly dissolve away the rock just a little bit, creating the first layers of soil, allowing some of the first simple plants to then colonize the earth. So you can take another look here, a little close-up of this particular lichen. Now, as we move away, you'll see lots of other lichens. Here's another right here. And you see these all growing out here in the sunshine. And if you can hear my shoes actually stepping on them, maybe you can hear that. These are pretty dried. They've dried out. When it gets really wet out here again, maybe the fungi and the algae will become active again. All right, I just mentioned that we don't always find lichens just growing on the ground. Sometimes we find them growing on rocks where there's no soil, sometimes even on the trunks of trees. Right here in front of me is an oak tree, and growing on the oak is another type of lichen. Let me show you. So if you look down here, right at the base of this oak tree, we see a very predominant lichen growing. Also, all up and down this tree, we see other little clumps of lichens growing. All of this lighter color variation here is actually lichens growing, not part of the bark. Take a look at this one here. We definitely see, again, lots and lots and lots of lichens. So I just introduced a new word to you, maybe, symbiosis, mutualistic symbiosis. Symbiosis is a relationship between two different species where at least one member benefits. In the case of the lichens, it's called mutualistic, both members benefit. Another form of symbiosis is called parasitism. This is where one benefits, the parasite, and the other, the host, is actually hurt. Usually not to a degree that it will kill the host, because if the host dies, quite often then the parasite will die because it cannot easily move on to a new host. And the third form of symbiosis is called Commersalism. One member benefits and the other is neither harmed nor does it benefit. Probably one of the best examples of this is the remora, the shark sucker. This fish attaches itself to the shark for a free ride. And then when the shark is feeding, it will detach itself and kind of pick up the crumbs from the feeding frenzy. Now, you might some argue that the reduced drag that the remora causes in the shark is actually hurting the shark, causing it to exert more energy, but I think it's a pretty minimal amount. So, hope you enjoyed this lesson, this episode, and be sure to come back for more. Thanks, goodbye.